Hey, it's Blaire, the love guru, spiritual teacher, master healer, psychic, medium, dating and relationship expert, marriage and family therapist, horse healer, dog psychic, and proud awakened warrior. I'm also a leader of the new earth. Maybe you're a leader of the new earth as well, but you can only be a leader of the new earth if you take the time to heal yourself, heal your childhood wounds, heal all the ways that you have been programmed. And that is the work that I bring to this world. You can learn more about me and my teachings and get assistance in healing your childhood wounds at loveguru.net or thealiennetwork.com. I also have horsehealer.net. If you have horses or dogs and you'd like to do a reading and a healing for them or with them, I can do that remote or in person. And I am in my new location. Yay! The crowd cheers. I have successfully moved out of the city area. I was living outside New York City, and now I'm living in the country with the cows and the horses and the sheep and lots of land and my people who wear sweatpants and sweatshirts all day long. I found my people. Sweatshirts and thermals all day long, and their focus is on staying warm rather than looking cute and trendy, which I love it. I absolutely love it. Even though I'm kind of looking cute and trendy today, but I never step it up the fashion level that people in the city do because I just find it ridiculous, and I'd rather be comfortable than all dolled up. So today I wanted to answer a viewer's question, and I'm going to be improvising a little bit of what the person said because I don't have the question right in front of me. I'm going to keep the person anonymous. So if this is you, you don't have to get nervous. I'm not going to mention your name. And I don't have it in front of me. I don't have that question in front of me. I have very limited internet connections here, and I'm very happy about that. It gets me focusing on my creativity and my spirituality and my connection to God and doing everything else I need to do here or I want to do. So I'm really excited about that. So the question is, actually, before we get to the question, I want to just do a little check-in with you guys and share that the dark energy out there is so fucking dense. And if you are swimming in that dark energy, you need to do whatever you can to pull yourself out of it. And what I want to say is that where I was living, I knew it was a dark place. I knew that I was there on assignment. And I chose to stay there until I was done with my mission there. But the process of leaving that location was ridiculous. As far as it was very, very obvious that dark energy was fighting me to leave. Even on the last day, I had to pretty much yank myself and fight myself out of my apartment to be able to get on the road to travel far, far away. And I wrote about it in one of my upcoming books where I'm talking about how I created this move from city to country in 21 days. I got exactly everything that I wanted. I'm in a house now. I'm in a big house. I have lots of land and a bunch of other things that I wanted on my list. I have. And I really, I want to say I shocked the shit out of myself, but that's sort of nasty talking, nasty words to be using. It was just it was very obvious to me that it was a spiritual test. And it was a spiritual step up for me if I passed the test, which of course I was going to be passing the test. But I knew it was going to be taking my spiritual powers and my ability to teach and heal to another level. And it was really hardcore. So I gave notice at my apartment complex. I didn't have a new place yet. There was different, I guess you could say, obstacles or challenges that spirit put me through. That I had to take care of in order to move, and I did it. I really didn't know how I was going to do it. I was like, I don't know if I'm at that level. I can do it. I've never done something like this before. And it was awesome. I really rocked it out. And I wrote a book about it, as I write about a book about my whole journey. And we're going to talk about that today, part of that. But the book is something related to like moving to the country, or I don't know what the title is going to be, but it's something like that. And just like kind of note it in the back of your head. I have a bunch of other books that are coming out too. So we'll see what I'm guided to put out first, but I know it's not like, well, I don't even want to say that. I was going to say it's like not top on the list, but it might be because it's fresh and it might be like fun and easy for me to write on how I created this experience, this house, this everything, heaven that I'm living in. It's fantastic. It has everything that I love. And it's a lot having to do with animals and the people, and like I just connect so easily with the people here. It's really night and day. So I'm going to share with you guys how I did that, just like I share with you guys all the spiritual teachings and the lessons I get to help you upgrade your life as well. So again, just keep in mind that's coming out. Stay tuned. It's going to be on the Love Guru's site, loveguru.net. And that's actually where you can get this bad boy too. It's a unisex shirt. I'm just wearing a smaller one. So if you're a guy or a girl and you're bigger than me, then obviously get a bigger size. Duh. And I have lots of fun shirts on there. I'm adding more to it as I come up with more ideas. And I have a little backlog of things that I'm putting up there too. So like I said, today I want to answer a viewer question, and the question goes something like this. Hi, I found you while surfing on BitChute. I have been awake for this whole COVID time, and I'm 62 or something like that. Again, I can't remember exactly the question or the details, but I think I did remember pretty well. I'm 62. I've been depressed most of my life. I want to get off pharmaceuticals. How do you suggest I start healing? And I love this question. And if this is you who wrote me the question, I did email you back from 2 different email addresses. I don't know if you didn't get the email or what, but most of the time my emails go through. Sometimes they seem to be blocked. Go figure. That's just the age we're in. So I'm answering it here because I know that this question is good for lots of people, and maybe you're living a variation of it, and I am happy to help you. First off, I have to do a little disclaimer, and I'm not a doctor, okay? I already gave my introduction. I'm a healer. I'm a master healer because several months ago I had a different thing going on, and I upgraded myself with that too. And then my guides were saying, now you're a master healer. And I was like, oh, that's my new title? I was like, I kind of liked my original healer title, which is intuitive heart healer. So I'm practicing saying master healer because I am very proud of myself on the things that I went through and that I healed, because I actually was going through a little bit of a sickness thing. And it was during this age of COVID, which I was not going to see a doctor. And it was also when I was transitioning out of eating fruitarian diet, which is the most fucked up diet ever, which I thought it was the way that us humans were supposed to be eating. I kind of fell for that thing by some assholes who sold that to me. But all right, it's part of living. And I was transitioning back to meat. And I was experiencing some really weird and scary health things going on. And that's when I got upgraded to the title of Master Healer. So what I want to say is back to my original title of Intuitive Heart Healer. And this relates to your question. So I am an emotional healer. I help people heal their sadness, anger, anxiety, frustration, resentment, and fear, as well as their mental and emotional wounds, mental, emotional, and childhood wounds, and all the ways that you've been programmed by your family, friends, society, media, which is the only way you're going to get into your power at this time, and in general, ever. You know, there's people out there that are preaching to protest or to go get guns or to fight or to whatever the fuck. And I'll tell you, all of that advice is garbage, or as we say in my old land, garbaggio. I think it's a funny joke. It's a joke that I made up with my my guides. My guides are very funny, just like I am. And I used to live in an Italian area because most of New Jersey is Italian. So we would always say garbaggio. And I don't know if that even people say that, but I would always like joke about that. So there is me sharing a joke and then explaining it, which makes the joke really bad then. And note to self, don't do that again. Okay, so all that advice is garbage, basically, and you really should be on the path of healing yourself, because that's how you get into your power. That's how you step from karma to dharma, which is the space also of creation. So you're no longer a victim of karmic lessons that you have to go through, and instead you're actively playing a role in creating your life and what you want to experience. And then once you get a taste of that, you're like, oh my God, how good can this possibly get? Like, I want to keep going higher and higher, and it's just exciting. So I share all that to say, say that it's awesome that you wrote that question, because one, you know that the pharmaceutical companies are no bueno, and you know that they're not for your good, and you maybe have heard all the different stuff that they're putting in these pharmaceuticals during the pandemic time. So I think I'm putting this up on ScrewTube, so I'm gonna try to watch what I say, because we're in the time of censorship. So, okay. So that's really good that you're like, hey, I learned from this scam and I don't want any part of that, and that means I have to look for alternatives. So that is bravo to you for that. The second part of what I really love about your question is that for however long you've been dealing with this depression, and if you're a viewer and you're not dealing with depression, maybe you're dealing with anxiety, maybe you're dealing with loneliness, maybe you're dealing with unhappiness with like your career or your love life or your health or your family or like whatever your living situation. So what's really cool about this is that it doesn't matter what age you're at, but then you get to the place that you're like, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I actually realize that I don't have to deal with it. And like, what are the other solutions? And then look on how you were cruising through BitChute and you found me, which that's usually what happens. And what people tell me is that I'm an answer to their prayer. And God just brings them to me, and then I have the answer for them, which is awesome, because of course you want to be an answer to people's prayers. And it makes me feel good too, because I don't really do any of like the marketing, promotion, snazziness. I can't keep up with that, the social media shit. I'm not even on social media besides this video stuff. I can't keep up with it. I'm not interested in it, and I've tried it different times. So whatever, like, it's just nice that I could just be who I am, and like the right people are just drawn to me, and then I'm there to help them, and like, you know, amen to that. So again, like, I think that so many people, and all of us, me too, like, you're kind of in a situation and you're dealing with it for so long because you feel like, oh, I just have to deal with it, or like this is just the way life is, or this is just the way that my life is, or I know that maybe I can try different things, but I don't even have the energy to be doing that. So when you're at that place that you're like there shifting and you're like, hey, I don't want to be on these pharmaceuticals anymore, or I don't want to live where I live anymore, or I don't want to be at the job I'm at anymore, or I don't want to be in this relationship, or I don't want to be single anymore. That's a really powerful place that you're like peaking with some power there to like really make a shift. And I love that. And I think that's awesome. So let me get to answering your question besides just like giving you congratulations, but that is really an important part of the shift. Is step one, I want you to recognize that you're like, oh, I don't want to be living this way anymore, and how do I get over here? So you have to appreciate that. And whenever I'm working with private clients, I always like see the same kind of theme, is that like they don't really recognize how awesome it is that they're like, oh, I'm ready to change now, I'm ready to do the work, that they're just like, well, I just want to fix this. And it's like, whoa. Step one is like, oh, I'm so excited that like I'm ready to, like, I don't want to be on pharmaceuticals anymore. And I'm excited about healing myself, because I don't know if you've been on the healing path all along. But you know, you're taking it to another level if you have been. And if you're new, then like welcome, and welcome to the light side. I was going to say welcome to the dark side, but it's not. It's the light side. So this is the place where you end up start enjoying life. And it's a journey. Just want to say that. It is a journey, okay? And we can't control how long this takes. But the idea is that you're on the path. So to answer your question, how do you start doing this? And the recommendations I'm going to give to you are 2 of my books. You could read 1 or read 2 or start with 1. So these are in the same series. This is the first book in the series. Do You Know My Husband? It is the unexpected journey of how the love guru found the one. And I'm going to go through what these books are about in a minute if you're new here. And even if you're old here, I think it's just interesting to listen to. You'll probably or possibly pick up something new, because whenever I listen to things a second, third, fourth time, I always pick up new things having to do with my life and my spiritual journey. And then the second book in the series is Doing My Life My Way, stepping out of the illusion and jumping to higher timelines. So these are 2 books in the series. There are 2 more books coming that are in this series, and they have to do with my meeting and my brief marriage to my twin flame. That's the next one after this, but I don't know when I'm getting around to it. It's a big chunker of a book. So I have to really be in the right space to be going over all these books are already written. I just have to like work with an editor, really be in this space to hunker down and just focus on the project. And I don't think it's happening right now because I'm so busy out there meeting people who are in my soul tribe, and it's exciting. It's very exciting because I've been really solo for so long. Like so many of you guys, so many of my indigo warriors and star seeds, we are solo, like hermits and loners, lone wolves. And once you've gone through healing and you're at a certain level of your healing and certain level of your mission, then your tribe comes in, and then it gets to be a big party, which it really does, because then you're meeting all these people that maybe you've been feeling energetically, because I have, and then you get to do your missions together, which is fucking awesome. And then you become more powerful in the world, and then you impact the world stronger, because that's why we're doing all this healing work, not only to make our lives better, but we need to be starting, if you haven't done your healing work, or even if you have, you need to step it up to a higher level, because if you want to be serving in the world, doing your mission, we need to be impacting the collective. Right now, the collective is more impacting us. And I'll say like the truther community, it's more impacting us and affecting us. Like, you can't go in there and you can't go in there. If you go in there, you got to cover yourself, or like, you got to show this, or like, you know, like, again, I read between the lines of what I'm saying. And we need to be getting stronger, not just individually by healing ourselves, but collectively by joining with those who are doing our, you know, the similar mission as us. And then we put out waves of positivity to really shift this and wake everybody up, or whoever wants to and whoever cares. I mean, you do your mission for yourself. Even though you're here to, you want to help society and humanity, you're here to do this mission, you're here doing your mission for yourself. Like, I do this work for myself. I love it. It turns me on. And like, I just love it. I love it. I can talk about healing childhood wounds all day long. I can talk about healing your programming all day long. In fact, I do talk about it all day long. It comes out in every single conversation. It's just who I am. Same thing with all the New World Order stuff. I'm a teacher of the New World Order. And I combine the teachings about the New World Order so people get awareness and education of what's going on. I combine it with the healing work that I do, which is clearing people's childhood wounds and programming, which then helps them stand up and believe what the truth is, because people are so out of alignment with the truth. They don't understand it when they hear it. They don't recognize it when they hear it because their vibration has been so altered. So yeah, I kind of went on a little tangent, but it's never really a tangent because I was like, what was I talking about? So let's get back again to the question. We're going to just keep pulling it back. And this is how I teach. And some people love it. And some people are like, dude, you go on these random tangents. They're not random. They're all connected. Spirit has me. When I speak, I channel, and everything that I share is connected and said for a reason. And if you think about it, what the messages are for you, you'll get it, okay? You'll hear certain things that are specific for you. And what I will say is that when you're listening to any of my broadcasts, sit down with your notepad and listen and write notes. Don't just watch this like you're zoning out into like how you would do normal TV. Don't zone out. This is an educational process. I am here to help you heal. Whether you are purchasing my products or just watching my videos, which by the way, I don't know how long I'm going to be offering these gratis videos. Okay. So right now it's on BitChute and ScrewTube, but like I'm going to be moving it to my own platform again, like I did the Awakened Warrior show, which I have not recorded that for a while, but I'm getting back into all these things because I have energy for it. Like seriously, where I was ridiculous with the dark energy. And I see now on how much it was weighing me down and how much it was really trying to pull me away from my mission. Seriously, the story on my last day there when I was moving, I had to pry myself out of the door with my belongings to move. Like the dark energy was fighting me to leave the place. Like I finally got out of there hours later than planned. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? Like that was seriously darkness manifested, which is insane. They were like, no, we want Blaire here. Like you are fucking staying here. It's just bananas. It's just crazy. It's really crazy. I'm still digesting it because other parts of the puzzle are still kind of coming in. Like I was having a realization today. Actually, I'll just share with you. So when I was in my apartment, I used to always have these thoughts of like, oh, actually, I'm not going to talk about it. They're just stopped me. Like, oh, I'm not even mentioning it. I'll put it in the book. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not talking about any of that stuff. We're just stopping. Okay. Yeah, read the book. That's it. That's the only place it's going to be. I don't think I'm ever talking about this shit because I'm not even, no. All right, so let's go back to the pharmaceutical question. Let's go back to healing yourself from the depression. So again, I'm not a doctor, and thank God for that, because clearly most doctors these days are fucking retarded. And part of this journey is releasing yourself from that corrupt system, okay? At the core of it, we are all healers. We're all able to heal ourselves. We all have that power. If you don't know that, if you don't believe that, your vibration has been corrupted and you're believing some sort of limiting beliefs and some sort of lies, okay? We have the ability to heal ourselves. The end, okay? Period. The end, exclamation point, okay? That's the story. So you can work with your doctor and have them help you when it's time to phase out of whatever drugs you're on. You know, you need to do this in a responsible manner, or if you're guided to do it haphazardly, then that's your business, not my business. I have no part in it. I'm not responsible for what you do. You're a sovereign being. You're responsible for yourself. Don't get other people involved in your bullshit if you have bullshit going on, okay? You make choices for yourself. This is what empowerment is. You make decisions for yourself. You make choices for yourself. You listen to your intuition. You pray about things of what is right for you. That's called empowerment. That's called being put into your power. That's what I do. I put people into their power. So I'm giving you, it's straight up, no bullshit, how to do it. All right? Now, this comes after, possibly alongside you doing the healing work, or after, again, when you're guided by Spirit, God, the universe, the Lord, whatever you want to call whoever you connect to. All right? I don't care. It all means the same thing to me. I use different words interchangeably. I say Spirit all the time. People tend to think, people who are like brought up in the Bible, Christian, Catholic, whatever, think that I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. I don't know who the Holy Spirit is. I was brought up Jewish. I never even spoke the word spirit. I was always saying God, and then I was saying universe, and then I was saying my angels and my guides, and then it got to be so many different beings I was working with that I just started calling them my spirit family. And then I changed it to just spirit. But again, if I meet people and I say spirit and they have this certain programming about the Bible, again, they think I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. Again, I have no idea who that is or what that is, and don't explain it to me. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. So that's who you tap into. By the way, again, have your journal when you're listening to my talks and write down things that strike you. Write down things related to your life, things you want to research. Take notes. That's what that means. Take notes. Everything of mine you listen to, take notes of what's going on in your mind and what is inspired for you to do. That is how you become an active participant in your life, and that's how you get healing from my work by not just listening to it. Because of course, if you're listening to it, you're watching my stuff, you're getting healing. But if you want to take it further, and I want you to take it further, and your soul wants you to take it further, sit down, watch my stuff with your journal, take note, and then go do the action steps that you're being guided to do, even if that's just journaling about something that I said that really striked your fancy, okay? That made you, people always say to me, oh, Blair, you got me thinking about so much stuff, you know, all these light bulbs are going off, like, I'm thinking about stuff I never thought about before. Yes, that's healing. That's things shifting in your mind and in your energy field. Write it out, okay? You're welcome. And by the way, what I will say with that, along with that, if you are getting value from the things that I share for free on here or elsewhere, then consider making a donation on thealiennetwork.com or loveguru.net. On the bottom, I have donation buttons, or buy yourself something so that you are supporting a higher consciousness corporation rather than the shit that's out there. And also, by you supporting a higher consciousness corporation, you're supporting yourself too. Because if you're watching this information, then that's part of the reason why you're here, is to bring healing and higher consciousness to the world too. So I am you, you are me, you're supporting me, I'm supporting you. You understand? There's a flow. So many people don't understand this, that they just sit in a space that they're watching other people's material and they're not giving anything back. And there's different ways to be giving. You could be sharing, like I said, you could be donating, you could be buying stuff from them, you could be talking about them to other people, you could be spreading the word about their work, you could be buying a t-shirt, you could be buying a book. These are all things that are enhancing your life too. I don't care on how you're spending your money in appreciation for the work that I'm sharing with you. I'm just suggesting and sharing that please get involved and do an energy exchange. Don't just watch and sit there and, just zone out, and I'm not providing material for this purpose. I'm not and that's why almost all my stuff is paid, because I am actually here to help you grow and heal and expand. And a lot of times when people are watching things for free, they go in this old programming place where you're watching TV or movies and you're zoned out, and it's sort of like a break from your everyday routine. And there is value to that, to zoning out, but that's not the purpose of my work. I mean, I do put out some things that I think are funny, but I'm here to help you heal. That's it. That's it. And I can entertain you, but I want you to grow as a person. I want other souls out there that are like me or similar to me, that have higher levels of consciousness, because most people that I meet, if not all people I meet, are nowhere near the level of having healed themselves that I am. And I'm not saying that to be like cocky or egotistical. I worked at this. I worked hard at this. This is my life. That's it. I work on healing myself 24 hours a day. Now I'm stepping into a fun place of my life. But for the last, I don't know how many years it's been. I guess it's been since this 2004, which I'll tell you about this book in a minute. And we're going to go back to the question again. But again, all this stuff is related. So, you're stepping into a place, or maybe you're going deeper if you're already on the healing path. Like, this should be your focus, your only focus. This is why you're here, to heal yourself and to do your mission. That's really it. Okay? Now, people might say, well, oh, that's not fun, or, I don't know. I don't know. You're watching shitty, scary videos about bullshit online. Most of that is fake information. Even if you're watching truther videos, it's fake information. Just work on healing yourself. That's an investment in yourself, okay? Again, that's why I'm here. That's why I do these videos, to help you heal, to bring more people that I can be doing my mission with, that I could be hanging out with, that I'm gonna really like hanging out with, because everybody else I could only hang out with for like a certain period of time. And then I'm like, okay, peace out. I'm back to just me and God and my angels and my guides and my dog, which, let's dedicate this video to my sweet little baby, Magic. You guys have seen him if you have been with me for a while. Magic crossed over around 7 months ago, and that's when my life really started going up to a higher level, and I started getting all these different tests to help me rise to another level, that were really pushing me. And Magic's around me all the time because I am a medium as well. So he's been with me this whole time. He's helped me move out here. And I miss him dearly, and I love him completely and totally and completely. Oh, it's gonna make me cry. It's still kind of raw. Oh, alrighty. Let's drink some water. Everybody drink water, okay? Have water while you're listening to me talk too, because that'll help you process things as well. Let's just drink some water. And I have a book about him coming out too, because I brought him back from the dead, and then he ended up crossing over several months later, but I had that experience as well. So really, things have been full on for me over the last 7 months, and even before that, the last 2 years since COVID. But then it accelerated when he had some things going on, and so there's a lot of books that are sort of backlogged, but I don't even want to say backlogged. They're just stationed, and I'm waiting with the dog book, because I'm still too emotional about it. I'm still going through different stages of mourning. It's making me sad. Okay. I just want to get back to myself here, and I'm just feeling a little emotional at the current moment. It'll pass. Okay. Mm. Oh, I love that dog so much. Oh, and he knows it, and I told him every single day. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. At least I'm gonna try to, and then like the emotions will like leave. Sorry to depress you. That's the healing journey. The healing journey is you're feeling different emotions and you're sitting with it. I'm kind of cruising through it a little bit here because I'm recording this for you. And frankly, if I was on my own, it would clear faster, but I'm just trying to, okay. All right. So where do you start healing? How do you start healing your depression so that you then can get off the pharmaceuticals? And again, I think that's wonderful because this is a journey about learning, uncovering your true self. Because whatever you're experiencing is caused by you being out of alignment with your true self. Said another way, you have so much gunk over you, baggage and limiting beliefs and programming that's over you, that's holding you down, that you're not able to rise and shine as the person who you really are, and therefore you're experiencing these things because your soul is like, help me. So that's good because you're finally listening to the call of that, or you're taking it up to another level. All right. So what I'm suggesting is to get one or both of my books. And the reason for that is well, let's go through what these books are about. This book I wrote in 2004. It didn't get published to several years later because, again, that's how I roll. I get the lessons, I go through the journey, and then the book kind of sits there, and then one day Spirit just says to me, okay, Blair, time to edit it, and then you put it out. So this is the story about, I've been on the spiritual path my whole life. I've also kind of pretty much been awake my whole life. But of course, there's like different levels that you go, and you also get sucked in with different programming happening here. So, that's kind of the journey we all go through. So this is the book where I was trying the journey. I really wanted to get married. I really wanted to find my life partner. It wasn't really just about getting married. I wanted to find my life partner. And everyone around me was either in a serious relationship or married or having kids. And I felt like, what about me? And I was working back then as a dating coach. I called myself a dating coach. That was before I really understood that I was psychic or intuitive, whatever word you like better. Back then I was calling myself intuitive, after I went through healing with stuff like this. But because I had baggage around the word psychic, which a lot of people do, and what that meant and things like that. And maybe that was like a little creepy and like whatever. So I had to go through, again, it's a journey that you're just like healing these false parts of yourself and these like false beliefs. So this is the journey that I put up a website. It was just for friends and family. It was supposed to be a private website. This was when, the internet was just like kicking it up. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but like, yet it was long ago that like things weren't viral every minute of the day. And I put up this website, which this is a picture from me. This is a picture of the website. And it was when things were really basic online, and my website that was private ended up going viral and going all around the world. And I was in the New York Times, I was on CNN, MSNBC, Glamour magazine, and like tons of different publications, like in all different countries, like Israel and Italy and like all these other places. And it was over 100 like media outlets that like my story got picked up on. It was a really big thing. And like I would walk around New York City and meet people and they knew about my story. Like they knew I was the girl that was looking for a husband. And like I was on Inside Edition too, if you know that show. It's just kind of funny. And it was cool also because like I was the story right after Elton John. And I was like, oh my God, I'm right after a celebrity. They're covering my story. So I had those videos on YouTube somewhere. You could find them. Like if you just type in like the Love Guru BLAIRE on MSNBC, and then the same thing, Love Guru BLAIRE on CNN, and Life and Style, which was another show out back then. So anyway, the journey, like for me, I always thought it was stupid when people said like dating is just a numbers game, or one day, like it just seemed kind of stupid. Like you just turn a certain age and then like you find your partner. I thought all that stuff was bullshit. And I really thought that there was like a secret formula to find the one, and it ends up there is. And that's the journey that my soul and God took me on. So even though my website went viral and then like everybody in the world was helping me find a partner, and guys were submitting themselves to like date me or like be my husband, spirit, like what happened was like 2 months into the journey, the universe stepped in and started showing me, teaching me what I now, like this easier, more natural flowing way to find love, to draw love to you, which I call the spiritual way to attract the one. And that's also one of the things that I teach. I teach people the spiritual way to attract the one, which is an easier, more natural flowing way to draw love to you rather than going out looking for it or using dating apps or websites or whatever. So that's this journey. And you may or may not be single. And you may or may not be interested in finding a partner right now. And it doesn't matter if that's the case. I'll share with you why I'm suggesting this book. Number one, it's a fun read. So it'll take your mind off of all the bullshit that's going on. Okay? Number two, you're going to start healing just by reading this book, because I share all the realizations I have about, how I see the world and how I see relationships and how I see my relationship to myself. It teaches you a lot. It starts healing the relationship you have with yourself, that you have with other people, and that you have with God and the universe. So that's really the core of why I'm suggesting this book, is that it'll start shifting you, which is just another word for healing you. And then again, to take things further, because you'll get that just by reading it and thinking about the stuff, but to take things further is to journal about the stuff you're reading about, the things that like strike your fancy, things that stick out to you, things that you want to remember, things that remind you of something that happened in your life or with certain relationships. You want to journal about it then, like whatever section you're reading, like read that and then write about like what you think about what I'm doing, what judgments you have about it, what insights you're having, what things that you really like that I'm sharing. Those are the things that you want to write down while you're watching my videos, as well as like when you're reading my material or listening to my audios or my videos. Like those are all the things that you want to write down, and that'll help you take the healing further, really process the information. You want to process the information. Those are the action steps that you take. That's how you process the information. That's how you get shifts. That again, then like the next step is like, if you're learning something and it teaches you to like, let's say, stop looking online for dating. Again, I'm just giving you an example having to do with dating, that then you actually stop doing that and you journal about the uncomfortable feelings that come up. Okay, so that's why I'm suggesting this. I have had people read this book who are single, who then have attracted their partner just by reading this book. I have also had people who have read this book that are divorced that are separated, that are married, that are in a relationship, that are in a long-term relationship, that are happily married, they've all received benefit from this. They've all told me that they've received benefit from this. And I hear a lot that it has to do with bettering their relationship with themselves. So that's why for all those reasons, that's why I'm suggesting this book. Again, you can get it at loveguru.net. You could download a free excerpt from it. And so that is that book. Then after that, the next book in the series is this one, Doing My Life My Way, Stepping Out of the Illusion and Jumping to Higher Timelines. This book has a lot to do with, coincidentally, but not really, a lot to do with what's going on in the world now. As do my alien books. I have an alien series, but I don't suggest that for you right now, because the focus is just on you. So like, again, like the reason why I'm suggesting these two books is like, these are early stages of my journey. And even if you're an OG, which is original gangster, on your healing journey, like you've been on this spiritual path for a long time, you'll get a lot of value from these books, okay? And they're not priced, by the way, they're not priced like regular books. They're not $20, right? These are priced much higher because there's a lot of benefit that you get from them. And again, I'm providing them with the assumption and the expectation that you're really going to be working these books and healing through them. So you're getting healing from it. You're becoming an upgraded version of yourself from reading these books. So you upgrade yourself here, and then you upgrade yourself again when you're ready to keep going. For me, I like going. I like going and going and going, which means upgrading, upgrading, upgrading. That's why Spirit gave me the teachings and the lessons that I had to go through with my dog, and then the ability to bring him back from the dead. And then I went through right after that my certain health things that at times really scared the shit out of me. So did the possibility of losing my dog. So I was going through that, and then I passed that. So I upgraded again. Then they gave me, I think actually they gave me the title of Master Healer. I think I was upgraded to that once I brought magic back from the dead. Then they were like, you're a Master Healer. That's your title now. And rather than Intuitive Heart Healer, although again, I like that title, but I should be saying Master Healer. Then I had the health things, and then after that, it was getting the fuck out of Dodge. That, as well as more so, it was create your new living situation. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And they were like, you will do it. Okay. So I went through that. So right there, that's 3 books for me right there, and 3 books for you that are coming down the pike. But not everybody is all like ambitious about the healing like I am. I'm a teacher of this stuff. So I've gone through a lot of shiznit along the way, a lot of these like lessons, which I'm very happy about them afterwards. But sometimes while I'm going through them, I'm like, oh, another one. I don't want to do another one. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And they're like, yes, you can and you will. The force will be with you, or the force is with you, or whatever the saying is. So this one is the journey after this one. You could read them. You can read them separate. They're standalone books. But, so you can read this on its own. And this has to do with me moving to a new land, hence all the box and the moving stuff. That was when I moved to Florida from New Jersey. This is the book when I had just met my twin flame. And he is from England, and we were doing the long distance thing. And again, that's the next book after this one that will come out sometime, whenever it's time, about how I attracted my twin flame and how that journey went. That's all about relationships and marriage and fucking crazy shit. But it has a lot to do with healing childhood wounds, a lot. I'm just not ready to like, it's just such a heavy topic, that book. There's so much to that book. It hasn't really come through to me yet on how I'm going to organize it all. It's a very meaty. I don't want it to be such a heavy book. And that was a heavy experience that I went through. So this book, I moved to a new land and I started having a lot of realizations about my work, how I was working, my relationship to the world, my relationship to my family members. So this has a lot of different topics related to like, it's a really good book. But all my books are really good. I really like this one. Again, I really like all my books and I read them frequently because I always get new lessons from them or reminders of things. This book, what's good about this one is that it has journal posts, which basically all my books have journal posts. It has journal posts about something specific, and it's a short journal post. It's usually like a page or two. But then what happens is with this book, it has two different sections. It's one is stepping out of the illusion section, and it gives you all these questions to think about and to journal about. So it takes the teaching deeper. It helps you process the teaching. And then it has a section that is called Jumping to Higher Timelines. And what that section is about me reflecting on what happened to me back then. I was also going through health stuff. Oh, isn't that interesting? So yeah, this is a good book for you if you're going through the depression stuff too, okay? I would put that in the category of health stuff too, okay? So this talks about, so like this book was written and then again, it wasn't, I didn't work with an editor and it wasn't published till years later. And this is me looking back on like the experiences I went through, and then me writing about like, oh, how I would have maybe done that different to step to a higher timeline. Now, what's a higher timeline? A higher timeline is basically just upgrading your life. Rather than going through an experience and say, you have depression. So it's like, rather than just saying, well, I have depression, it's like, well, how can I use this depression to actually like really catapult my life? That's always that's very sexy to me. I'm very big on upgrading my life. I like that. That is one of my specialties as far as like, I help people upgrade their lives in a really quick, short amount of time. And doing that, you have to be willing participant, because sometimes like people fight the changes, or it's like too fast. We got to go like a little bit slower. So that's why I'm saying like, read this book. And then if you need to wait like a little bit, if it's like too much growth for you, or so you can like sort of stabilize at the new level and then go to the next book. Or if you're just like, oh, I want more healing, I'm ready for it. You need to give yourself a chance to process the stuff and to make the adjustments in your life, because it's about internal stuff and then you're doing external things. So I talk about in the Jumping to Higher Timeline section on like what I would suggest to like how I would do it now to go to that higher level, which I didn't understand back then because I was just learning the lessons, I didn't understand to the certain extent. I was just getting the awarenesses. So this book sort of like holds your hand a little bit more, although both of them hold your hand, but this one doesn't have journal prompts. This one, So, and again, all my work's about relationships. Everything in life is about relationships. And mostly it's about the relationship you have with yourself and your relationship with God. That is important. So I'm suggesting all those things because that's how you're going to start healing your depression. You don't need to, I think it would be sort of trivial to like, oh, let me get a course, how to heal my depression in 10 days or less. I think that's kind of surface level and sort of like ridiculous. The way that you heal this stuff is you heal the childhood wounds that are going on, and you heal the programming. And that's, again, all the stuff that I do, all the teachings that I do, all the books that I write, that will guide you through it. You can also, of course, look through any of the audios or the videos that I have or the programs that I have on my sites. Those are all going to help you as well. But, you know, when you asked, these are the things that came to mind right away. And I know that in this digital age, people like getting the PDF download and reading on some sort of, either on their computer or a Kindle or a PDF reader or whatever. I don't suggest you do that. Get the actual book. These are print to order from a publisher that ships everywhere in the world. So it should not be expensive to get it shipped to you. And that's how I would suggest to do it. That way, you're off the internet. You're away from the electromagnetic fields going on these frequencies, which you need to be away from too, especially if you're dealing with any sort of emotional thing, anxiety, fear, depression, any of that stuff. This stuff is messing your vibration up. So you need to be away from this as much as you can. So yeah, get the book. And then that way you can just like sit on the couch or lay on your bed and you read the stuff. You have your journal there and you're journaling and you're thinking, and don't read a lot at one time. You don't have to. You just read like a couple of pages and then you journal. You get lost in your thoughts. And that's you doing healing work. That's how I do my healing work. That's how I share the healing work. In a way, it's very easy because you're journaling most of the time and you're thinking most of the time. And, you know, if you're a depressed person, you're probably thinking a lot because you're probably like, why am I like this? Right? You know, so let's start thinking some positive thoughts. And this will get you thinking about different stuff. You'll have the book with you and just let this be your new best friend. Let me be your new best friend, and I'll guide you through these things. And then, yeah, after you journal and do stuff, you'll be guided to actually do physical actions in the real world. And the combination of those two is how you create some real shifts. And then you can swing back and let me know how it goes. All right, so I hope that this is helpful. I trust that it was helpful. I think that I've been talking for like, an hour now. So there you go. And once again, you can find me at loveguru.net, thealiennetwork.com, and horsehealer.net. Bye.